Today we're going to go over the install of a JLT cold air intake on a 96 to 98 Mustang Cobra. These kits are available in a black textured plastic finish or in your car's exact body color. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, those of you with a 96 or 97 that have the factory strut bar, you are going to need to remove it, and it will not go back on when you're using the JLT intake. You're going to remove the 3 bolts on each shock tower and the 2 bolts in the back, and then you're going to pull that off. The air box, you've got a 8mm bolt holding it on here. You've got your mass air wire here. You're going to unplug it. Inlet air temperature sensor. Pull the harness off of that. Pull the PCV connection here. PCV connection in the back. Loosen up the clamp and remove the whole assembly. Now you want to remove the mass air meter from the stock air box by removing these 4 10mm bolts. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to bolt the aluminum mass air adapter onto your mass air meter using these 4 supplied bolts and this supplied rubber gasket. You're going to put the gasket on the mass air meter. You're going to put the adapter on. The bolts come through the mass air meter and thread into the mass air adapter. Those with 80mm mass air meters, you're going to take the supplied silicone spacer, install this onto this side of your mass air meter. That's it. Remove the inlet air temperature sensor out of the stock intake tube. It just pulls out. Okay, now we're going to bolt up the apron plate. It's going to bolt up to the stock airbox mounting location right here. Go ahead and put a couple pieces of tape around the apron. There's some jagged metal in there, and this will help protect the pipe when you're putting it in. Okay, the mass air meter wire needs to go into the apron now, so we're going to tuck that behind the apron plate. We're going to go ahead and pull the main harness over as far as we can. There's one little Christmas tree plug that holds it into the apron. You can go ahead and pull that out of the apron and just pull that over to the hole. Alright, we've got the inlet air temperature sensor and the grommet in the bottom of the tube. We've got the coupler on the top with the clamps loose. We'll go ahead and set that into the hole. On our way down, we'll go ahead and plug in that temperature sensor, lower it down, and push it onto the throttle body. Alright, for now what we're going to do is we're going to just tighten up the clamp at the throttle body, push the coupler up against the back stops, tighten that down finger tight, go ahead and put on your supplied hose that comes with the kit for your PCV connection. You've got a secondary hose here. This goes to the fitting on the bottom of the tube and then goes to the PCV connection on the valve cover. Okay, I've got the wheel off and the splash shield pulled back just to gain better access for the video to show you what's going on in here, but you can easily leave the wheel on and just pull the fender liner back in the front area here. You've got a smog pump on the frame rail. You're going to go ahead and remove these 2 10mm bolts on this side. As well as this 10mm bolt in the front. We've removed the 3 bolts that hold the smog pump to the frame rail. We've moved the whole smog pump assembly forward and rotated it down, and we're using the uppermost rearward hole in the mounting bracket with the forwardmost mounting hole in the frame rail and bolting that up. This bracket is strong, those bolts are strong. That's all that's needed to get that out of the way. Here we've got the filter on the mass air adapter that's on the meter and your reducer ready to go in the fender. Okay, we got the tube coming through the apron. We've got our reducer, mass air meter, and filter assembly. We're going to slide this onto the tube all the way. Point the mass air meter towards the driver's fender. We're going to tighten up the clamp. Just finger tight again on this. There's a barb on the end of the tube. You don't need to overdo it. It's not going to go anywhere. And plug in your mass air meter. Now go ahead and put your splash shield back in. And you're done down here. And here's your fully installed JLT cold air on a 96 to 98 Cobra.